HighGold mining, we're focused on high-grade gold assets in established mining jurisdictions in North America. We think they're the most desirable of sort of gold mines or gold assets and command a premium. They're attractive in any gold price and actually very resilient to high inflationary environments as well. It's my job, CEO, to talk about our plans, our hopes, our dreams, aka forward-looking statements. It's your job as the investor to understand the risks and uncertainty of those statements. Capitalization structure. We've been around for about 2.5 years. We raised close to 50 million in that time period and still have quite a tight share structure, about 73 million shares issued and outstanding. Just a handful of warrants. Those are actually warrants that came from the original spin-out and creation of the company, so we've had the good fortune of not issuing warrants with any of our financing since going public. Market cap's hovering around 100 million. We entered 2022 with 23 million cash Canadian in the bank, so well funded to carry out our programs this year and into next. Really strong retail shareholder base. We've got great support institutionally as well, and in terms of an endorsement of sort of the management and the asset, we do have a senior North American gold producer who controls 9.9% of the company. They've participated in the majority of our financings, and I think that's kind of the endorsement to say, do our projects look like they can become a senior producer scale type of asset ultimately, and they wouldn't be here if it were not for that. We have formal analyst coverage with Cormark, that's Brock Coulter-John, and Stephen Suk of Stifel. We have quite a number of other analysts that were on their watch lists. In terms of independent newsletters, writers, as Eric mentioned, he does some great analysis of what we do, along with Joe, Gwen, and Jay Taylor. So our assets, our lead asset is JT Project, or Johnson Tract. It's located in Alaska. It's a very accessible part of Alaska. We're just off the coast in south central Alaska. There's a workforce not too far away. And what we've done there, we've established sort of a starter resource. It's a polymetallic gold deposit. Total endowment is just under 900,000 ounces gold equivalent at an average grade of about 10 grams per ton gold equivalent. We're growing that now. We're going to have an updated resource out quite soon. We're also making new discoveries elsewhere on the property. In addition to that, we've got quite a large portfolio of properties in the Timmins camp. That's Canada's #1 gold producing jurisdiction. That portfolio is really anchored on the Munro Croesus property, which hosted a former past producer of really exceptionally high-grade gold. So when we talk grade or high grade, we really mean it. At Johnson, just for, I guess, give you a little background on this list you see here, it's one that's compiled by OPAX, or an independent consulting group out of Australia, and they compile, the public disclosure of drill intersections globally. So annually, they produce a list of the top 10 drill holes. And what they do, it doesn't matter if it's copper, uranium, or gold, they convert it all to gold equivalent. They multiply it times the length you've drilled, and that's how you plot on here. So this year, we came in number 3. We narrowly missed last year, and in our first drill program, inaugural drill program, we came in number 7 on the list. We keep pretty good company here. I don't know if you can see the names on the list. To me, the biggest takeaway from this, though, is not, just getting on there. It's the first 2 years we were drilling the main deposit, drilling 75, 100-meter intersections of 10 to 20 grams per ton gold. This year, we made the list 4 kilometers away at a brand new prospect. It was our first time drilling outside of the main deposit area and at our Difficult Creek. So it tells you something about, I think, the geological environment on that property and the potential for more high grade elsewhere on the property. So our plan at JT, we think we have the makings of the ideal mineral deposit. And what I mean by that is, we've got grade and we've got width together. That generally translates to attractive economics. It's the type of project where we would envision a fairly small footprint underground operation. We acquired this asset. It was brought to us by a local regional Alaska Native corporation. So they own the mineral rights. In addition to that, they actually own road and port easement rights that provide some guarantee you can develop here. So all of that is very attractive from a permitting standpoint. Our mandate here is to build value with the drill bit. We're doing that 2 ways. We're growing the deposit with step-out drilling. As I say, we'll have an updated resource here very soon. and we're also making new discoveries as we start to step out on the property. So this is just an image of the property area. That freighter is not to scale. Our property is about 15 kilometers in length here, so there's all kinds of other prospects. We're just getting started testing those, the main deposits to the south. But the key takeaway from this, it would be about 15 miles of road building to get to the coast, and as I say, there's a road and port easement right that's written into law through a federal act of Congress that provides a guarantee that you can develop a project here. Here, just looking at the deposit itself, it's a long section. It's over a kilometer east-west. So the resource that we produced in the spring of 2020, that's kind of the darker shaded color in the upper right. We've proceeded over the last 2 years to step out and hit more mineralization. You know, we're not hitting quite the same widths the further out we get, or quite the same grades, but definitely very attractive grades and widths as we expand the system. It's open to depth, and it's actually, the whole system, we like the potential, a long trend within the plain here for other parallel shoots. Now stepping away 4 kilometers away at Difficult Creek, or DC, you know, we got a lot of attention with our hole 10, it was our first hole at this area. 6.4 meters of better than a half kilo gold with some really nice silver values. There were a couple of historic holes in the area. They were broader. There was 35 meters, 36 meters, about 3.5 grams per ton gold. This was really just a first pass test for us. So this is obviously we're going to be coming back hard on this summer with a follow-up. Why we like it so much is it has a lot of similarities. It looks like a real lookalike to the JT deposit itself. Both seem to have somewhat of a stratigraphic control to where the mineralization occurs. Both have great grade. Both are in the same host rock. And what we see is over a kilometer away, as you go through the mountain and pop out the other side where that stratigraphy comes out, we've got some of the best soil and rock samples anywhere on the property. In fact, they are the best soil and rock samples anywhere on the property. It's not been drilled yet. It's giving us some confidence that there's some legs to this to be able to grow and expand the system. We'll be probably starting with a drill on each end and working towards the middle. So switching gears, moving to Timmins. You know, Alaska, we are seasonal. We drill from June through to the end of October. Timmins, we can work year-round, but we're extra busy in the winter months. And we really do have quite an enviable land position there. You know, this is a very, very mature jurisdiction. They've been mining for over 100 years, so it's very difficult to establish a meaningful sized land package. And these are, you know, it's over 100 kilometers east-west in this field of view, so it gives you a bit of a sense of scale of the size of the land package. Golden Mile on the left there, you know, we're looking right down at 70 million ounces of past production. And the kind of thesis to our approach there is we're taking big chunks of land and for various different reasons, areas that have gone, in our view, grossly underexplored. You know, Golden Mile, it's covered with overburden and a shallow lake. It's not prohibitive for exploration, but because of that, it was really passed by. We really like it. We're not drilling it yet, probably later this year. Our biggest activity right now is at Munro Croesus, and that's at the east end of the camp. And over the last 2 years, we've done about 14 different deals and expanded the size of that property about 14-fold. And what we're doing is we took what was a former past producer that we controlled, small scale but fabulously high-grade gold, and we started to tie up all the land around it. It took a lot of work, and most of that land, it's gone without exploration since the 1930s. Little pieces, patchwork of different lands. So really excited to finally have consolidated this. We did a small program in November, December. We got some results out here just this week, about 25 gram per ton over a meter. It was about a kilometer west of the old mine. We've got a follow-up program right now, about 8,000 meters. We've got a ton of different targets. It's a great place. And, you know, just zeroing in, talking a bit about the geology here. In this field of view, there's over 20 million ounces sort of on the books and past production. It's become very active of late. It's probably the most active part of the camp. Moneta has 8.5 million ounces between Garrison and Golden Highway on the far right. Mayfair has 2 million ounce deposit, literally 1,500 meters along trend from our property boundary. They're going to come out with an updated resource very soon. Black Fox mine is on the other side of us, so there's no doubt there's lots of gold around. What we have is really good geological real estate that needs some exploration, and that's exactly what we intend to do. And what we're looking for, I mean, I should back up one here for a second. Another reason we like this, so you got the confluence of 3 major structures, the Dester-Porcupine Fault, there's the Pipestone Fault, and the Munro Fault. And the Munro Croesus mine that produced that gold you see in the lower left, it's in the stratigraphy between there. You get these high angle veins at right angles to those main structures. So that's our priority target. We've got about 10 or 15 kilometers of strike of that type of mineralization. And that's what it looks like. We brought a few samples to the show just in case anyone wants to come by our booth later, but it's the most beautiful stuff you'll ever see. I mean, you can probably tell it's gold from the back of the room. You don't often get to see that. It's a real cool project. We'll have these at our booth if you want to come by and ask any questions, talk to Naomi or myself. She knows judo, so no funny business, but yeah. Anyhow, this is us. We got a lot of news flow over the next 6 months. We've got some metallurgy coming from Johnson. We've got a new resource there, and then we're going to be right back drilling with a very aggressive drill program, and a bunch more news coming out of Timmins. So thanks very much.